Hi, I'm Peter J. Ray. Welcome. Today's topic is the 1923 Cleveland Tate Stars Negro National League baseball season. Again, the Tate Stars were playing in the Negro National League, and they were playing home games at Cleveland at Tate Field. They were an associate team in 1923. They were not in the regular standings, so not ranked. However, they did have their record was 13, 16, and 1, so not a really great record. Now, in the Negro National League standings, the Kansas City Monarchs finished in first place with a record of 54 and 32, winning percentage of .628. Second place, the Chicago American Giants, 39 and 24. Third place, the Detroit Stars, 39 and 27. Fourth place, the Indianapolis ABCs, 44 and 32. Fifth place, the Cuban Stars West, 24 and 33. Sixth place, the St. Louis Stars, 28 and 44. Seventh place, the Toledo Tigers, 10 and 17. And in eighth and last place, the Milwaukee Bears, 12 and 41, winning percentage of .226, 25 and a half games out of first. Now, one thing you'll notice is the teams did not play the same number of games, and it was based on which teams were drawing the best. So that was kind of unusual. In 1923, the Tate Stars, the Cleveland Tate Stars, started the season as an independent team, loosely associated with the Eastern Colored League. However, they rejoined the Negro National League in August as an associate team. And they finished among the independent teams. They finished in second place. The first place team among the independent teams was the Memphis Red Sox, who were 15 and 7, winning percentage of .682. Second place, the Cleveland Tate Stars, 13, 16 and 1. Third place, the Washington Potomacs were 9 and 14. And fourth place, the Birmingham Black Barons, 16, 25 and 4. The total attendance in 1923 for the Negro National League was 402,436, or an average of 1,650 per game. So the attendance was less at Negro League games than in the Major League Baseball. Total receipts, income from all ticket sales for the Negro National League in 1923 was $197,218. Again, the Negro National League played from 1920 to 1930. Only 3 teams won pennants during the decade: the Chicago American Giants, Kansas City Monarchs, and St. Louis Stars. Now, in 1923, the manager of the Cleveland Tate Stars was a player manager, Claude Johnson, who also was the second baseman. Claud Johnson batted .256 with 22 hits, 86 at-bats. He scored 15 runs, had 5 doubles, a triple, a home run, 10 RBIs, a stolen base in 23 games. They called him Hooks, and he was with the Cleveland Tate Stars from 1922 and 1923. He continued in the Negro Leagues until 1930. Claud Johnson. The catcher for the Tate Stars was Otto Ray, who batted .310. 18 hits and 58 at-bats. He scored 7 runs, 2 doubles, a triple, a home run, 12 RBIs, a stolen base in 18 games. They called him Jaybird. He was born in 1894 and died in 1976 in Leavenworth, Kansas, at age 82. He was a catcher, outfielder, first baseman, and pitcher. Otto Ray played for the Kansas City Monarchs, Chicago Giants, St. Louis Stars, Cleveland Tate Stars, Toledo Tigers, and Cleveland Browns between 1920 and 1924. He was primarily a catcher, a very versatile player, a light hitter. After he retired, he became a deputy sheriff in Kansas City and retired to Liberty, Missouri. He's buried at Fort Leavenworth National Cemetery. In Fort Leavenworth, Kansas. For his career, Otto Ray batted .287 with 186 hits, 33 doubles, 20 triples, 5 home runs, and 92 RBIs, and 18 stolen bases in 213 games. Otto Ray. Willie Gray was the first baseman. Gray batted .218 with 19 hits and 87 at-bats. He scored 8 runs, had 2 doubles, a triple, 8 RBIs, 3 stolen bases in 23 games. And Willie Gray was with Cleveland from 1922 to 1923. Willie Gray. Don Hammond was the third baseman. Hammond batted .162, 6 hits and 37 at-bats. He scored 3 runs, had 2 RBIs, a stolen base in 13 games. During his career, he was a third baseman, shortstop, and pitcher as well. He played for the Toledo Tigers, the Cleveland Tate Stars, and the Cleveland Browns, as well as the Pittsburgh Keystones and the Newark Stars between 1921 and 1926. For his career, he batted .167 with 8 hits and 48 at-bats, scored 6 runs, had 2 RBIs, a stolen base in 18 games. Don Hammond. Pete Cordova was the shortstop for Cleveland. He batted .198 with 16 hits and 81 at-bats. He scored 8 runs, had 3 doubles, 6 RBIs in 23 games. Cordova played for the Kansas City Monarchs, Toledo Tigers, Cleveland Tate Stars, and Philadelphia Giants between 1921 and 1927. He was a third baseman, shortstop, could play any infield position. Cordova was from Havana, Cuba, in the Caribbean. He died in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 1974 at age 81. For his career, he batted .194 with 31 hits and 160 at-bats, scored 15 runs, had 5 doubles, a triple, a home run, 9 RBIs in 51 games. Pete Cordova. Now, Willie Mays was our left fielder. Willie Miles was our left fielder. He batted .253 with 23 hits and 91 at-bats, scored 14 runs, had a double, a home run, 4 RBIs, 3 stolen bases in 23 games. Miles played for the Toledo Tigers, Cleveland Tate Stars, the Homestead Grays, Cleveland Browns, Cleveland Elites, Cleveland Hornets, and Memphis Red Sox between 1923 and 1927. He was a speedy outfielder who played for 4 different Cleveland teams. For his career, he batted .259 with 70 hits and 270 at-bats, scored 35 runs, had 8 doubles, 2 triples, 2 home runs, 18 RBIs, 9 stolen bases in 70 games. Willie Miles. The center fielder was Bobo Leonard, who batted .262 with 16 hits and 61 at-bats. He scored 10 runs, had 4 doubles, 2 triples, a home run, 10 RBIs, a stolen base in 18 games. And Leonard was with the Cleveland Tate Stars between 1922 and 1923, the Cleveland Browns in 1924, the Cleveland Elite Giants in 1926, the Cleveland Hornets in 1927, and the Cleveland Tigers in 1928. So he played for 5 Negro League teams. Bobo Leonard. Now the bench players, the right fielder was Vic Harris, who batted .297 with 22 hits and 74 at-bats, scored 8 runs, had a double, 7 RBIs, a stolen base in 22 games. Harris played left field, right field, center field, first base. During his career, he was also a manager and a coach. And he was associated with the Cleveland Tate Stars, Toledo Tigers, Cleveland Browns, Chicago American Giants, Homestead Grays, Detroit Wolves, Pittsburgh Crawfords, Baltimore Elite Giants, and the Birmingham Black Barons between 1923 and 1950. Wow, long career. He was from Pensacola, Florida, and died in San Fernando, California in 1978 at age 72. 23 years. He was with the Homestead Grays for 23 years as a player and manager. And with the Grays, he won 9 straight Negro National League pennants from 1937 to 1945. Harris was a consistent spray hitter. He had a short, compact swing, could slap the ball to all fields, good bat control, and he was a good hitter, and he could run on the base paths. Lifetime .299 hitter, good defensive player. He had extra hustle. He was underrated, one of the best players in the game. He played in 6 East-West All-Star games between 1933 and 1947. His family moved to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania when he was 9 years old. He played baseball at the YMCA, and during his career was teammates with Josh Gibson, Oscar Charleston, and Smokey Joe Williams. He had good speed, a very capable base stealer, and he believed that the base paths belonged to him. He was a slashing scrapper. They called him Vicious Vic. He was good with his fists and quick to use them. Very quiet, and he inspired others by example. He got a job at a defense plant during World War II, from 1943 to 1944. He also played and managed in the Caribbean with Santa Clara in Cuba and San Juan and Santurce in Puerto Rico. He was 17 years old in 1923. He's the manager of the Homestead Grays from 1936 to 1948. For his career, Harris batted .305 with 742 hits, 106 doubles, 46 triples, 28 home runs, 392 RBIs, and 23 stolen bases in 659 games. As a manager from 1936 to 1948, his record was .522 and .287, winning percentage of .645 with the Homestead Grays outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Vic Harris. Now, the bench players included Rube Henderson, who played some right field. Henderson batted .323 with 10 hits and 31 at-bats. He scored 5 runs, had 3 RBIs in 11 games. And Henderson was with the Cleveland Tate Stars between 1922 and 1923. Rube Henderson. Harry Jeffries played some third base. He batted .300 with 9 hits and 30 at-bats, scored 3 runs, had a double, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs, a stolen base in 7 games. And Jeffries during his career, played third base, catcher, shortstop, first base, outfield, and he was a manager. He played or managed the Chicago Giants, Chicago American Giants, the Detroit Stars, Cleveland Tate Stars, Washington Potomac's, Cleveland Browns, Baltimore Black Sox, Cleveland Tigers, Harrisburg Giants, Chicago Columbia Giants, Newark Browns, Hilldale Daisies, the Newark Dodgers, the Atlantic City Bacharach Giants, Knoxville Giants, and the Baltimore Panthers. Between 1920 and 1934, he was mostly a third baseman in his career, and for his career he batted .253 with 201 hits, 33 doubles, 7 triples, 3 home runs, 90 RBIs, and 15 stolen bases in 297 games. And Jeffries was the Cleveland Tigers manager in 1928 in the Negro National League. Harry Jeffries. John Barnes was a spare catcher. Barnes batted .133 with 4 hits and 30 at-bats, scored 2 runs, had a triple and RBI in 10 games. Barnes played for the Cleveland Tate Stars between 1922 and 1923, the Cleveland Elite Giants in 1926, the Cleveland Hornets in 1927, and the Cleveland Tigers in 1928. John Barnes. Ernest Gooden played some shortstop. Gooden batted 8 times, did not have a hit, scored a run, walked 3 times in 4 games. And Gooden played for the Cleveland Tate Stars between 1922 and 1923. Ernest Gooden. Mathis Williams played some third base. He batted 7 times, did not have a hit in 2 games. And Williams played for the Cleveland Tate Stars between 1922 and 1923. Mathis Williams. Now, the pitching staff, Bill Mccall, as a hitter, batted .269 with 7 hits and 26 at-bats. He scored 3 runs, had 2 doubles, a triple, 3 RBIs in 9 games. McCall's pitching record was 3-4 with an ERA of 4.43. 9 games, 7 starts, 6 complete games, and 65 innings pitched and 25 strikeouts. McCall played for the Cleveland Tate Stars between 1922 and 1923, and the Cleveland Tigers in 1928. Bill Mccall. Bob Mcclure was also in the rotation. Mcclure batted .042 with 1 hit and 24 at-bats, an RBI, a walk in 9 games. McClure's pitching record was 1-5 with an ERA of 2.64. 9 games, 6 starts, all complete games, 58 innings pitched, and 36 strikeouts. And Mcclure was with the Cleveland Tate Stars in 1922 and 1923. Bob Mcclure. Slim Braham was another pitcher. Braham batted .167 with 3 hits and 18 at-bats. He scored a run in 8 games. Braham's pitching record was 3-4 with an ERA of 4.40, 8 games, 6 starts, 4 complete games, 47 innings pitched, and 27 strikeouts. Braham was with the Cleveland Tate Stars in 1922 and 1923, and the Cleveland Elite Giants in 1926. Slim Braham. Logan Hensley was another pitcher. Hensley batted .286 with 2 hits and 7 at-bats. He scored 2 runs, 2 RBIs in 5 games. Hensley's pitching record was 1-1 with an ERA of 7.08. 5 games, 4 starts, a complete game, and 20 1/3 innings pitched, and 5 strikeouts. They called him Slap. He played for the St. Louis Stars, Toledo Tigers, Cleveland Tate Stars, Cleveland Browns, Indianapolis ABCs, the Detroit Stars, Cleveland Giants, Chicago American Giants, between 1922 and 1939. He was a right-handed pitcher. He had a very sharp breaking curveball and a good changeup. He was the ace of the 1930 Negro National League champions St. Louis Stars with a record of 17-6. He won titles as well with St. Louis Stars in 1928 and 1931. And he was 17-7 in 1926 and 13-6 in 1929. He went directly from the Sandlots to the Negro National League. Hensley was born in 1900 and died in 1971 in Kansas City, Missouri at age 71. For his career, he was 32-20 with an ERA of 4.54, 89 games, 57 starts, 23 complete games, 2 shutouts, and 4 saves and 206 strikeouts. Logan Hensley. Now, in 1923, the Negro National League champion team was the Kansas City Monarchs, who finished in first place. There was no World Series. The top hitter in the Negro Leagues was Dobie Moore, and the top pitcher was Bullet Rogan. So that's the story of the 1923 Cleveland Tate Stars. They didn't have a tremendous year, but it was wonderful that we had them in Cleveland. God bless the fellows who wore the Cleveland jersey and played for the Cleveland Tate Stars in 1923, and everyone else associated with the team, including the fans, especially the Civil War veterans, Spanish-American War veterans, and First World War veterans. Captains of the Cuyahoga, lovers of Lake Erie, Terminal Tower Power, fans of the Free Stamp Statue and the Fountain of Eternal Life, Severance Hall stalwarts, Euclid Avenue electricity, First Energy Stadium friends, Progressive Field pals, Quicken Loans Arena enthusiasts, Tribe, Browns, Cavs, Monsters, and Gladiators rule. Cleveland, City of Champions. Cleveland is the best location in the nation on the north coast of America. New York is the Big Apple. Cleveland is a plum. Before you know it, it'll be opening day 2019. Go Tribe. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. God bless you. Take care. And I'll see you next time.